Alright guys, welcome back. Geoff here. I'm going to show you my magical musketeer that I used at locals recently. It was just a casual locals. We just did it's usually non-meta, so you don't see a lot of high tier decks. So I brought my muskets, which I'll probably be using for this is like considered non-meta, and I'll be using it as my meta deck as well. So we'll see how it works out against stronger decks down the road. But last night I went 3 wins and 1 tie. After 4 rounds, I got 2nd place. So let's just go into it. First, we got 3 cast bars. If you see him in your opening hand going first, it's you're in a pretty good situation. Basically, cards activate his column. You can search any musket card on your player's turn once per turn. Starfire. 3 Starfire, who lets you special 1 from the deck if a card is activating her column once per turn. 3 Kid Brave, which lets you pitch a magical musket card, draw 2 if a card is activated in his column. And Doc, which is recursion from the grave. If a card is activating his column, you can add 1 magical musket card back from your graveyard to hand. So, a couple things to know about the magical musketeers. They allow you to activate their spells and traps from your hand on your player's turn, so you can activate traps from your hand, or quick play spells during your opponent's turn, counter traps and regular traps on your turn or their turn. So, and if you activate whatever card you activate in their column, you can't add the same card with their effects. So, if Doc here, if I activate, let's just say Cross Dominator on Doc, I cannot add Cross Dominator from the grave. It has to be a different card. But they're all the spell and traps are once per turn, so they just recycle themselves. A couple of hand traps. I ran 2 Ghost Ogre and 2 Ash Blossom, 2 Ghost Ogre, sorry. You don't want to see multiples in your hand because it's crucial that you get a Musketeer monster and some type of starter, or some type of interruption for your opponent if you're going first. But I must say, most of the night, if I lost a dice roll, I did end up opening one of these, so it was perfect to help me survive. That's it for the monsters. For spells, I run 3 Cross Domination. Not Cross Dominator, but 3 Cross Domination. Quick play spell, which targets a monster on the field, turns its attack to 0, and negates its effects. Attack and defense to 0, negates effects. So it's infinite permanence on your player's turn, as well as a battle trap land style damage step. You can play it and reduce their monster 0, and they'll be forced to die if they crash into one of your guys. And I play 1 Steady Hand, quick play spell that doubles your magical musket attack and defense until the end of the turn. I never played this card. I don't think I played this once all night, so I'll probably cut it for something else. But I mean, it does start, I guess. I mean, you can use it to start your plays if you don't just Starfire and say that. You can just play turn 1 to get Casper out of the deck, but it's not the best, but it's searchable with Max, so you need different names. 1 Monster Reborn, which could probably be cut as well, but I mean it's great if it's great going second. I don't know how many times I open, say, Caspar or Starfire, summon Monster Reborn, one of their guys, search for my deck or special from the deck, so it's great that way. Same with Upstart, like Upstart behind either one of your muskets, it's just a plus 1, so you get the draw off Upstart plus a card, depending on what monster you activated it under. 2 Pot of Desires. I'm probably going to bump that to 3. That might be why I take the Steady Handed or Monster Reborn. But that's such a good card. Opening Caspar and Desires is just crazy advantage. 3 Instant Fusions. I had it at 2. I bumped it to 3 because first you can summon Millenniumize Restrict, which I don't have right now, but it's on order. So Millenniumize Restrict going first, or also Mud Dragon going first for your rank 4 play if you want to do it that way. And going second, you make 1000 Eyes Restrict. So And plus, if you activate it behind a Musketeer, it's a plus again, so it's really good. 3 Call by the Graves. You really need the next card I show you to resolve. I'm playing the going first build, and you really don't want you don't want your desires ashed, and you definitely don't want Ties of the Brethren ashed. So that's a real big nig if they ash this. So yeah, I play Ties. I can see some people playing it, some people don't. It's super it's really feast or famine, because if you open Caspar and this card, it's the nuts because you plus so much. But if you open Starfire and that card, I don't have the 4s to do it, so I can't do it that way. If you open Doc and this, it's good, but Doc doesn't get no effect because I have no graveyard to start with. Kid Brave could not be live. So it's risk and reward, but I resolved it a couple times last night, and I must say it worked out really well in my favor, helped me win some games, so I'll keep playing it until I feel that it's just too bothersome, or I decide to change to the go second variant of the deck. Let's go to the traps. Desperado, which is basically target one face-up card, destroy it. And you can obviously play it during your player's turn, which is just fantastic. I don't know how many times I did the your opponent summons something, say Crystal Wing. I'll use Crystal Wing for example. My opponent summoned Crystal Wing, so I used Cross Dominator to negate its effects. With Doc, added back a Desperado from my graveyard. Vice versa, I can also do Caspar. Cross Dominator, make it 0. Under Caspar, add Desperado, and then pop it. So yeah, it costs 2 cards to get rid of that monster, but you get to add off Caspar, so it's kind of like breaking even, or Doc. It really depends on the situation, but I did do that and it helped me win the game. 2 Last Stand, which is just a counter trap to negate spell or trap. So this came in super handy against a lot of back row. I walked into a Quaking Mirror Force. I walked into a Infinite Impermanence, trying to stop my plays. I ran into Solemn Strike on my Max, and it was excellent card. So anything that can help you resolve Max or resolve your musket effects, and it triggers them, of course, if you play behind them, it's really good. Fiend of Steel, which is so the theory behind that is another name. It protects your guys from being destroyed. The only issue is it's continuous. So once you play behind your guy, you can't play any more behind it. So you get the 1+ and that's it. But I never came up. But I figured any type of mass destruction, Dark Hole, Regeki, or some type of pop, you can play this from your hand, save your guys. Especially like a Dark Hole, you can activate Dark Hole. Your opponent has no response. They think they're going to take your guys with them, and then you drop this as well. So you protect your guys, get rid of theirs. That probably won't come up, but I mean, it's theory. So, and plus, it's a name, so I like it for now. And 3 Impermanence, which is cool. I really like Impermanence. Even going first, you can set it behind one of your guys because they're only once per turn. You just have to be careful that you don't activate any of your live Musketeer cards in your hand in the same column you activate Impermanence. Which, I mean, smart players would know that, but I mean, it's so easy to forget, right? So that's the main deck. I believe it's 41. Could be 42. I can't recall. Onto the extra. So 3 Max is pretty much the reason I wanted to build the deck. He makes going second incredible. So one game, my opponent had 2 scales and a field zone. One monster or Electromite that I impermanenced, so he couldn't go any farther with his plays. So he basically passed. I normal summoned Doc. I had no other cards in hand, truthfully. that was live. So I normal summoned Doc. I made Max. He let me special 3 monsters from the deck, and I could OTK. So it was perfect. It was he's optimal. He makes the deck. He really pushes the deck from say a tier 3 or tier 2.5 to a tier 1.5, tier 2. It really pushes it up a full tier in the meta game. So basically what he does is if your monster when he's summoned, he has to be link summoned. That's when he activates effects. So it's only when he's link summoned. You can add spell and traps equal to the number of monsters your opponents control. Musketeer cards, spell and trap musketeer cards, different names. Or you can special summon different name magical musketeer monsters from your deck equal to the number of spell and traps your opponent controls. So, like I said, my opponent had 2 scales and a field zone in their pendulum deck. So I got to summon 3 monsters. And, of course, bring out Starfire, Caspar, and, say, Kid Brave, for example. And then any card in your hand that's live, you can play behind Caspar and get another monster from the deck. So I was easy to win the game there. So he's just amazing. He's the reason I wanted to build the deck, and I'm going to see how far I can take this deck. 1 Link Karibo for your Millennium Eyes or 1,000 Eyes Restrict. It's so nice just to 1,000 Eyes, take their guy, link off, Link Karibo. And he gives you a Darren Arrow, so you can still make Max. Nightmare, Cerberus, Phoenix, and Unicorn. These guys put in even more work with this deck because Max gives you a 1 arrow down. So Max, like my opponent just had, I summoned 3 monsters. I can go into a Cerberus, pop a monster, and draw a card because he's linked to discard a card, pop a special summon monster, and then draw a card because they're co-linked to Max. Same with that, pop his spell or trap and draw a card. And then once that's done, you can do your Max and Cerberus or Phoenix into Unicorn to spin another card. It's really good, and you really don't lose that much hand advantage or cards from doing these combos because they replenish themselves if they're co-linked, which is nice. Boral Load and Boral Sword. So Boral Load for cards that are just unaffected or can't be targeted or destroyed just to get them off the field, and Boral Sword for OTKs. Pretty standard. Millennium Eyes, which I don't have. 1,000 Eyes, Restrict, and I do play Super Poly, so I got a couple Super Poly targets there. Mud Dragon, Diplex Chimera, and Starving Venom. Thunders, Dangers, Salmongrates. This guy here is, I mean, you can get a lot of different rogue decks with this guy, but also turn 1 if you open Caspar or Starfire and say Upstart, you can go Starfire, Upstart, draw a card, special Caspar, or I should say you don't need to do that. Starfire with Instant Fusion. Summon Starfire, activate Instant Fusion. You summon him, you summon Caspar, you overlay Starfire and swap into either one of these guys depending on situation. Dweller most times going first for the majority of meta decks right now are relying on the graveyard, so that'll save you a turn. And Cowboy will be taken out once I get Millennium Eyes, but Cowboy is just in there for game 3 shenanigans. I don't like time like anyone else, but he is pretty easy to make with just generic. It could be anything really. I could have put in anything for rank 4. But yeah, the extra I'm side deck in progress, so I'll just show you what I have. You could almost main Dancing Needle, which is a triple DD Crow, because it's searchable and just targets 3 cards in either player's graveyard and banish them. So you can really catch Orcus, Salmongrates off. You can end their turn, right? It really. I threw in a Rogeki. This was short notice, so I really didn't have much time to prepare the side deck. Super Poly with Super Poly targets. I was thinking like MST or Twin Twister, but I just said like Cosmic Cyclone is. You really just don't want. There's a lot of spells and traps you just don't want to go to the grave these days. So True Draco is pretty good, pretty big in our local meta. So I mean, that's a really good card against that. And then I threw these in just because I had them, but they never did come up. But I think maybe I'm more of a higher tier event. These would see more play. So Dark Ruler, no more. So, and Nibiru. I mean, going second is crazy, especially this card with Musketeers. You know, they trigger them, and especially negates your opponent's whole field, and then you trigger your Musket guy. Why not? So that's the deck. I really enjoyed it, I must say, and it's super nice to like just summon a monster with nothing else. Just summon a monster to your field and pass turn, and your opponent just, if they don't know magical Musketeers, they just assume that you just bricked or you have nothing, and you could have 4 interruptions in your hand. So, anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll be talking to you later.